Happy Thursday, Oaklawn race fans. The sun is shining. The track is good. I predict fast by the mid-card this afternoon for our 9 races. Nancy Holthus joined alongside track announcer Matt Dinnerman. We come off a few days of rest. And did you do anything fun? I know that I had recommended a series for you to watch, which he's now addicted to. Thank you very much.
Yes.
What did you do, Matt?
The Pit on HBO Max.
So good.
Really good show.
Really
it's
good.
just there's not a second that goes by where something's happening.
Yeah.
You know, so binge watch some of that anyway. You know, it got a little rainy over the course of the weekend. Got to hang out a little bit, did a lot of exercise.
Okay.
You know, went to the gym, went on a couple walks on trails.
Yeah.
So had a good time there, and just getting excited, doing a little prep work for this week, Nancy.
All right.
What did you do?
Well, you also did your podcast yesterday.
We did, out of the starting gate. I did solo. I went solo again. There were some things we had to cover with regards to stakes races last week, this week. So really, recaps and stakes were the key on our show. And we got a clocker pick on Sunday, a first-time starter that figures to go off at a price. So go to the YouTube page. Make sure to subscribe.
Yep.
Oaklawn's YouTube page. Not only do you get to see out of the starting gate, but a lot more things, replays, promotions, all sorts of stuff. What did you do this weekend?
What did I do? Well, typically Mondays, I don't like to get out of my pajamas. I go straight from the bed to the chair, and I've got a lot of shows that I binge.
With the dogs.
With of course, with my babies.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monday, I like to make it all about me. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to look at anybody. I just want to be me and in my little cave there.
I've tried calling Nancy on a Monday. You won't get her.
Happen.
She's working on Netflix and HBO Max and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yesterday was a bunch of errands and getting ready for this great weekend of racing we've got coming up. And it's just going to get busier as the meet progresses because as you look at it's hard to think that February's already gone and we're almost midway into March. That blows my mind. But yeah, very looking forward to the Racing Festival of the South at the end of this month. And some really nice horses that are going to come in or are rumored to come in right now. So very excited to see some of those really, really top stars in our industry. As we said, the sun is shining, so let's take a look at our news page. The track is currently listed at good, but I don't see a reason why maybe 3 or 4 races in we won't have an upgrade to fast. We'll wait for Matt to make that announcement. Winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunny skies. It is a little bit chillier right now as we are at 48 degrees. Haven't seen that in quite some time. What was it? Tuesday, it was kind of super, super humid out with a little bit of rain, and now it's 48 degrees. But it does look like it's going to get warmer throughout the weekend, and fingers crossed the infield is going to dry out enough so that we can have our fans go out and have a great time in the infield this Saturday. Rain is scheduled for Sunday.
Okay.
Again.
40% chance.
40% chance.
That's less than half.
Less than half.
That's good. Sometimes we'll see 40%, and then we either won't get it or we'll get a little bit of it, but not too bad.
Yeah.
So, Mama and Papa Dinnerman are coming here this weekend, too, by the way. They'll be here Friday night.
So they're going to stay in the hotel here?
They will.
They love the hotel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? I haven't heard a bad word about it.
Yeah, it's luxe, that is for sure. We do have 9 races on the card, but first let's take a look at our news page as we come off. I just wanted to give you a little quick peek at the current leaderboard of the jockey standings. It's going to be a race down to the wire this meet, I have a feeling. Ramon Vasquez sits on top with 39, Christian Torres 2 back with 37, and Francisco Arrieta a strong third with 33 visits to the winner's circle. Steve Asmussen leads the trainer with 35, Mark Cassey with 20, and Randy Morris having a great season as well with 13, and Steve Asmussen also leading the owners. Tom Durant in second with 7, and Randy Patterson with 5 victories. And today is discount day. We had free parking. You'll get free programs when you come in the door and dollar hot dogs. And personally want to invite you to the Chaplaincy Banquet Bash, which is tonight. Doors open at 6 o'clock, and that is in our Oaklawn Event Center. Saturday, Dawn at Oaklawn. I could say Ron at Oaklawn.
Ron is at Oaklawn a lot. I like
Ron
that.
at Oaklawn with Ron Moquette. We also have our Lucky Loot promotion and 11 races this Saturday, 12:30 first post, with 2 stakes on the program, that being the Purple Martin Stakes and the Grade 3 Whitmore Stakes. So very excited to talk with Ron on Saturday morning about Whitmore, what his thoughts were about his career, where he is now. He's enjoying retirement, and also a lot about thoroughbred aftercare. He's been really influential in our Ring the Bell program, which has kind of piggybacked onto other racetracks doing the same thing. So thoroughbred aftercare, one of the most important topics in our industry. So be a good chance to talk with Ron, pick his brain a little bit and get his ideas. I know he is at Ocala right now doing some shopping.
Yeah.
And we did see
expensive shopping.
Very expensive shopping. And we did see Frank Fletcher, prominent Little Rock businessman, spend $1.85 million at Ocala. I think it might have been an Into Mischief colt. And
that
obviously
wouldn't be
that
surprising,
one,
knowing
that
what
one,
his commodities.
Yeah, that one
what
going to
his-
go to
his horses are
Bill
doing.
Mott, who, by the way, does have the favorite in today's feature. And I saw the article that Mary Rampolini had called you about, because what is it?
Yep.
Beautiful Reigns and Beautiful Twice. So pretty cool.
Beauty Reigns and Beautiful Twice. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's as hard for an announcer to deal with that as maybe some people think when you do it over and over and you deal with these types of things and you just worry about memorizing correctly. So
And you do it well.
thank you.
Race number 1. Let's go ahead and get in line here. We start things off with fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, $8,000 claiming at the distance of 6 furlongs. Not a huge opinion for myself in the opener, this field of 6, and do make the pilot on Sicilian Grandma, Francisco Arrieta. So we do start off with a field of 6 to kick off the first leg of the 50-cent Pick 5 series. Matt, what did you think in here?
Well, I think this race is fairly wide open here. I went with a runner cutting back from route to a sprint, What's Crackin', who was 4th best last time out after dueling on the lead. That was the last time we saw this horse sprinting. But you look at the speed figures of this horse, very much competitive with this group here. Didn't lose by much to Sicilian Grandma for the 3rd spot. And I thought this runner was compromised a bit, dueling on the pace, and the pace was very fast. And especially for a cheaper horse like these, when they're going that fast on the lead, it's hard for them to stick around. Horses that go at a really fast pace on the lead, the ones that do better sprinting are ones that have a little bit higher quality, I think, in a lot of scenarios. So I think drawn outside, this horse does not need the lead, can be close, though, is naturally quick. So I like this horse. I think he'll be really fit today.
I'm actually going to go with the number 4, Smart with Heart. I think kind of maybe the one to beat is actually going to be the number 3, who is Brooklyn Drew. Ronnie Huckabee in the irons, who does take a massive drop in class. And I think personally, Matt, this horse will either win by daylight or be in the back of the pack.
Okay.
Sometimes that's kind of the scenario when you see horses really taking that dramatic plunge in class. But Smart with Heart takes the lowest drop in her career today and has moved forward in each start at the meet. She does come off a 4th place finish against beaten 12 5-claimers, and that was also, she gave the highest last race Beyer speed figure with a 52. Now she does come 3rd off the extended layoff, and I'm thinking should have just enough speed in the group to kind of sit and make that one run. So we've seen the track sometimes favoring to a little bit of those front runners, a little bit of the speed. So I'm curious to see, now that the track is drying out, what we're going to see today from a pace perspective.
Yeah, I think sometimes the track will tighten up a little bit when it dries out, so it could play a little bit to speed. But we've seen even on our courses where there are races with a speed bias, race days, I should say, you could still win from just off of it, or if you make an early move and try to get there turning for home. But I'm in agreement with you on Brooklyn Drew.
Yeah.
I didn't even use her in my top 4. Now maybe I rated her a little bit too low, but I'm just taking a stand here. Was claimed for $30,000, took 6 weeks between workouts. And now is in for 8,000 off a layoff, a little bit of a break, about 3 months. I don't like that sign, so I'm going to try to
sometimes that can be a little bit of a red flag, but we'll find out in the opener. Race number 2 is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Nominators of 3, the claiming price is $12,500, and they will go 6 furlongs. We do have a field of 9. Ramon Vasquez will pilot the number 2, and 8 of the 9 in here are looking for their first win of their 2026 campaign.
That's right. So one of them is going to get the job done here. Another competitive race. I took Balls in Your Court, second off of freshening here. Second start on the dirt for Eric Foster. Dueled on the lead last time and ran fourth to Jetpack, who has pretty good form. Had a race win streak snapped, I believe, this weekend, but had a bad trip that day. Another race where there's some pace in here, but this one's drawn outside. Has not shown the ability to be able to sit off the pace and win a race, but has shown the ability to duel on the lead and stick around in past races. So I'm going to take Balls in Your Court second out here at Oaklawn.
Yeah, I'm with her as well. She had a pretty good campaign where the Canadian bred did start out at Woodbine. And then in her debut here, she broke on top, something she's really done throughout her career. I like that she's got that very quickness and sharpness out of the starting gate. But the field that she ran in last go did produce 2 next out winners. And I certainly think she stands to improve her second start over the dirt and against this condition. So Matt and I thinking alike with the number 9, Balls in Your Court. Real quickly, if you see Redcoat Dawn in the winner's circle when they do their presentations, today is Dawn's birthday. So
happy birthday, Dawn.
Be sure to wish Dawn a happy birthday.
Grady can spend it with us today.
Yes, exactly. Race number 3, was that race number 3?
That was race 2.
That was race 2.
Started the early pick 4, ladies and gentlemen.
Pick 4. I got to try to get ahead of myself. Race number 3 is for 3-year-old fillies, maiden claiming 50,000, and they're going to contest 3/4 of a mile. One first-time starter to contest a pretty lightly raced bunch in here. So Matt, what are your thoughts for this one?
Yeah, I'm picking the firster here.
Oh, nice.
Always spiteful, drawing the rail. Now, I don't love firsters on the rail necessarily. I don't love horses sprinting on the rail all the time.
I was trying to think, who was the first-time starter last weekend that won on the rail? Was it a Dwayne Loy horse?
Yes, Dwayne Loy's horse, 25-1.
Yeah, first-time starter down on the rail and came up on the rail.
Yeah, but the key was broke well, get to the lead, show speed, stay out of traffic, stay out of the kickback, and she just kept on rolling over a track that was playing to speed.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that Always Spiteful can do the same, Nancy, here. A filly by Classic Empire. The dam, a Palace Malice mare named Spitefulness, was a sprinter. One sibling of this horse was a router, but has a couple of bullet works on the page, including a 47-1 gate work at Keeneland. Fastest of 60 works that morning. Eddie Keneally, who trains, he'll ship a horse here from time to time and typically does pretty well. He's 8% with firsters, which is a little bit below average, but certainly a trainer that's capable of winning first out. He's a good conditioner. So I'm going to pick Always Spiteful. Hopefully can show some speed here, get close, and show that speed and talent from the mornings.
I'm going to look to a little bit of a price in race number 3, and that is with the number 2, Highlight Show, who is 8-1 on the morning line. Comes from the barn of Sippy Contreras. She went on the shelf after joining the barn off the maiden 50 claim back in mid-September. She did face tougher maiden allowance runners in her next 2 starts at the meet, posting a pair of 6th place finishes. 2 back, she came and faced eventual winner Search Party, that runner eventual winner of the Martha Washington, and in her next start, a next out winner as well. She did shorten up to go 6 furlongs and took the blinkers off for that occasion. Now she is going to drop back in for a tag today. The barn, I love, is 26% second off the layoff and 17% third off the claim. So I'm going to take a shot with the number 2, Highlight Show, for Sippy Contreras. Race number 4 is the start of our $1 Classics Pick 6. This is for 4-year-olds and up, an $8,000 event at 3/4 of a mile. Scratch the number 7, KP Quest. And Matt, just looking at this race, it looks like there's a lot of speed and fade.
Yeah, there's a lot of horses that like to get out there early, and they haven't quite figured out it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, not quite stay up there all the time, but...
Yeah, so this makes things for an interesting race, and there's speed in this race, but I picked Love to Win in here. This horse draws a little bit of an interesting scenario, drawn inside. I'm picking the rail horse in a sprint again, but drops in class in for 8,000, easily won for 10,000 at Remington Park 2 starts ago. I'm just hoping that this horse, an old pro, 10 for 30, so has won 33% of the time. He's won. I don't have it. This is the race, I think the one race I'd really didn't have any sort of
Yeah.
strong opinion on whatsoever. I have to pick a winner, or try to pick a winner,
Exactly.
because we're on this television program. But this is the type of race that I just do not have a strong opinion on. Comes out of a race, there were 3 next out winners, so
That's
I know
big.
you'll like
I
that,
love
Nancy. 4-month break here, but even though there's a sporadic work pattern, this barn, that typically happens with them, and they typically perform on the racetrack. So I'm not going to question this outfit here with the sporadic work pattern. Taking a shot here, we'll see what happens, but not getting any value. I just don't have a strong opinion,
Yeah.
Nancy.
Some of these, sometimes the lower level races like this one, it is kind of harder to get a take on because you've got a lot of horses that have been beaten pretty well in their last couple of starts and are either shortening up, stretching out, one of the two. So a lot of times it's kind of a mixed bag, if you will. I'm going to go with the number 5, One True Chance. This one owned and trained by Jordan Blair. So now several in the field look to attempt to be the pace setter, but many not having the staying power. I think that's going to be the key this afternoon, not give that runner too much to do in the running stretch. Now, he has been facing tougher and exits time-restricted $20,000 runners here over the mud, which he, quite frankly, in 2 starts has not run a lick over, so I like that he did flash some early speed and faded from there. Gets a considerable drop in class today and an improved track condition. We'll see if that kind of plays into it. But sometimes, Matt, if it's owner-trainer, I might give it a little closer look because owners can, when they own and train, can be a little more aggressive in that claim box or in the entry box.
I agree, and
Yeah.
I think especially when they know what they're doing, you see a trainer that knows what they're doing, and they don't have anybody to answer to. They can just say, okay, this is where we're going. Some owners, they'll say, hey, I don't want to drop him for this low, or I don't want to lose him. Let's run him in a spot where maybe they can't win. In a case with an owner trainer, they get to make their own decisions, and they're spending their own money, so
That's the
they
key
want to
right
win.
there.
They want to do anything they can to make as much pocketbook money as they can.
Yes. Race number 5, the first leg of the final 50-cent pick 5 on the Thursday program. We're going to discuss after this break. Don't go away.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Feeling lucky? Get ready to find your pot of gold at Oaklawn. Swipe your ID on live race days to earn entries into our $17,000 Lucky Loot drawing. On Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, your swipe earns you double entry. And on Saturdays, a single entry. Drawing day is Saturday, March 14th, and you must activate your entries by swiping your ID before the start of race 7 to be eligible for the final drawing. After races 1 through 7, 5 winners will be called to claim prizes ranging from $300 to $1,000 each, all part of Oaklawn's Lucky Loot celebration, where 35 winners will share $17,000 in cash. Shamrocks, swipes, and some serious cash. Lucky Loot brings the luck of the Irish right here to Oaklawn, so don't miss your chance to find the pot of gold.
Make sure you swipe when you do come on property to get your chance to win some cash in this Saturday's Lucky Loot. And one of the biggest days in Hot Springs outside of Oaklawn is happening on the 17th, the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yes.
And Carmen Electra, the diva herself is going to be the Grand Marshal, so that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I think Flava Flav was there last year.
Flava Flav.
Yeah, I saw him playing craps at the then Hooters Hotel in Las Vegas when I was about 15 before I got kicked out of the casino.
I was going to say, what were you doing on the casino floor?
We were at a baseball tournament, and you know, our couple of the parents took us all to the strip, yeah, I think we sort of wandered off on our own, doing our own thing, and the parents did their own thing, and we sort of wandered into the casino. It was the Hooters Hotel right across from the MGM, and there was Flava Flav, and we all yelled Flava Flav, and he said, "Yeah, boy!"
Oh, that's
and then the security saw us and said, "What are you kids doing in the casino?"
Get out. Oh.
So.
Did you just see what happened?
Something just went flying.
I had a ring just catapult over there.
And it's not the wedding ring, so Paul, you're safe there. But
that sucker just shot off my
even just
finger.
talking about Vegas, things
oh
get
my
crazy.
gosh, that thing just shut off my. Are you going to go down and experience the
Absolutely.
Oaklawn's got a float?
Yes.
Yeah. So
we'll go down, and Mom and Dad are going to be here on Tuesday,
That's
so they're going to get
awesome.
to experience that. So
We're gonna,
it's pretty packed and fun, and there's always a really cool Grand Marshal that comes in and is part of the parade. So good food, good drinks. Anthony from DeLucas, he's always dressed up, I think, as a leprechaun of some sort. I think
that's on a daily.
Leprechaun. Maybe. Anthony certainly has that playful leprechaun mentality.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Paul and I are going to go to a private party at Capone's Loft, which is above the humidor.
Is that actually Al Capone's, like, a spot that he stayed?
No, that's just what they call
Because
it.
he stayed somewhere
He
around
stayed at the Arlington Hotel.
Gotcha.
In Suite 443. Ergo, the name of the business is also Suite 443.
Does it say in 443 in the Arlington Hotel?
I think there's a plaque on the door that says Al Capone Suite.
Do you have to pay more to stay there?
I think it's just like a standard room.
Wow.
Like the Arlington's one of the oldest hotels in the state of Arkansas, and a lot of the rooms only have a very small shower because people would come and take the baths, and they would go to the bathhouse, which was located in the Arlington Hotel. So they didn't need a soaking tub because they would go take the baths. So yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Fun history lessons from Nancy.
I worked there after high school. I knew all about it. Race number 5. Let's get back at it, shall we? Fillies and mares 4 and up, non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since September 12th. $15,000 claim price, and they will go 1 mile in distance. Scratch the bookends, the number 1 Rodeo Star and the number 10 End of Innocence.
Yeah, I wish I could give you more of a more interesting opinion. I just don't have one. I think Showers is going to be tough in here. Was claimed for $20,000. Won first off the claim for Tom Amos. Actually didn't run bad at all 2 starts ago against Allowance Company. And then last time out was too far behind. Off a pretty fast pace, but didn't do much. In for 15. Looks suspicious, but they claim this horse for 20. If they win, somebody claims this horse, which I'm imagining someone will. They're making plenty of money here with this horse. I don't think this is suspicious. I think they're just trying to win here. But we'll see. That's why in race 5, this filly will either run well, and we'll say, okay, they're trying to get a win, or she won't, and we'll say that's why this horse was in for 15.
I'm with Showers as well. She raced around 2 turns in her 2 starts at the meet, and I like the fact that both of those did come against first-level allowance, and both also produced next out winners. So looks to be in a very good and competitive spot here this afternoon for race number 5. Race number 6, let's talk Arkansas breds. 3-year-olds and up, maiden claiming 20, and they're going to go 3/4 of a mile. 2 first-time starters in the field of 12, as we only scratch are also eligible. So anytime we talk about Arkansas breds, you can almost guarantee it is going to be a full field of 12.
Yeah, we got a few of those today, and race 6 starts that late pick 4. Polar Wolf, number 7, comes off a good, off the pace, ran on for 3rd type of effort. Back in this spot here, and I'm hoping can build off of that. The first race wasn't pretty at this level, but improved significantly in lifetime start number 2. So in a race where there are no world beaters, if this runner can continue an improving pattern, why not, Nancy?
Yeah, put the blinkers on last out. That looks like it made a major contribution to a better finish. The short-leaf homebred does get off the rail where he was positioned last go, and hopefully won't be left with a lot to do. It kind of looked like that was the case last time. So sometimes horses can handle trouble, other times they don't, and hopefully that will be the case today. We get a good, clean trip. Race number 7 is for 4-year-olds and upward, either non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since September 12th, all in for that $16,000 claim price, and will contest a 1 mile and a 16th in distance. Eric Asmussen does pick up the mount on the number 2 Tejas, and a field of 12 just scratching are also eligibles.
That's right. So Tejas, new rider there, full field in this race, going 1 mile and a 16th. I picked Bolt at midnight. This horse, boy, what a bad trip he got last time. This horse was
That's
11 ahead at the 3/4 pole, going 2 turns, going 46-1. I mean, that was an unsustainable pace, especially.
It's almost like when you see those races, and we've seen those several times throughout the meet, just getting out to the front by daylight. It's only a matter of time when the field catches up.
Yeah, I think there was only one horse that did that, and that was a horse about a week ago for Ronnie Huckabee, who was aboard. And Ronnie said, you know what, let's just let this horse run. And I thought the horse was going to come back to him, and they never did.
Yeah.
But I don't think the others ran particularly well and kept him going. But, yeah, sometimes, look, you're in a tough spot when a horse is keen like that because if you try to fight him, you're going to take away more energy for the stretch. If you let him go, sometimes they'll go too fast and they're going to get tired. So I think that's a pretty tough position for a rider to be in when you've got a horse, especially going 2 turns. Sprints, they're not typically as keen, but in the routes where they just want to go, and you got to make a split-second decision. You let them run, you fight them, and see if they can relax. This horse is not a runoff, so I don't know what happened that day, but I would think this time around, if they can ration that speed with David Cabrera, who's riding today for the first time, I'm thinking this horse will be good. And he went 1 mile and an 1/8 that day and still only lost by 2 lengths. Imagine if his speed was rationed. He probably would have won.
I again see this horse on the lead, maybe not as dramatic as last time. But
let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not. I do see this runner setting out to a good, clean pace. And last time, again, I think it was only a matter of time till the field caught up with him, and he got headed coming into the stretch and faded late. But as Matt mentioned, he was only beaten 2 lengths and still rounded out the superfecta. Yeah. So still a decent effort.
A really good effort, I thought, actually.
Race number 8 is our feature on the 9-race card. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 allowance condition, and they will go 6 furlongs. Grade 1 stakes placed. Beauty Reigns returns off a 222-day layoff.
Nice counting, Nancy.
Well, one of my softwares that helps me handicap shows me all the days off. So that's a lot of counting on a calendar. But she is assigned even money on the morning line, and we've seen, I think, more of those this season than we have in the past.
I think so.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not all of these horses are winning, by the way.
True.
We've seen a couple interesting surprises, but I do like this one.
The morning line, I think, is just more like a suggestion.
Yeah, I mean, the morning line is basically you're predicting exactly what the betting public's going to do. And I think with the CAWs in play, it makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah.
It makes it a little more difficult to predict.
And it can tick a lot of people off, too.
Oh, definitely. And we know that whole story for those who follow racing.
Yes.
But I've always said since the CAWs have become in play a little more, it's harder because they're going on algorithms, and they may throw money based on the algorithm, and we don't have the algorithm as a morning line maker. We don't anyway.
Yeah.
So you're going off form, you're going off connections, and look, this runner ran 3rd in the test at Grade 1.
Yeah.
If you do that, you got to be pretty nice. A filly by Into Mischief out of a Tappet mare is really good pedigree here. Bill Mott, we've seen his horses fire on all cylinders since. I think he just shipped a van of horses here and found spots for him, and they have handsomely paid him good paychecks.
Yes.
So I like her. I think she probably will win. Bill's solid off a layoff. He pretty much is good at anything. So there's no weakness with a Bill Mott horse. When they're in a race, they're ready to run.
Well,
I love this spot for her. Doesn't need to run against Stakes Company because she's eligible for this. This is a starting point. She hasn't won a stake, but she's certainly a very nice filly. So she doesn't need to win today. I still think she's probably the best horse anyway.
Yeah, she's actually back in the overnight ranks for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah.
And also take note that in that Grade 1 test at Saratoga, she she finished directly behind her stablemate Ragtime, who came right back to win the Grade 3 Dogwood in her next start at Churchill Downs. So I like the fact that she's been down at pace and training, and we've seen horses that have been training down at pace and that come here and make their next start are very much fit and very much formful. So we'll see if Bill Mott can continue his hot streak where he is currently 3 for 4 in the win column. So I always like when Bill ships in.
Yeah, and he always sends horses here that are pretty solid, too. He doesn't send C-string horses. He'll send horses that can run a little bit, even if they are not stakes horses, maidens allowance horses. One thing about pace and bark, too, that maybe folks don't know, it's a deeper surface. So especially with horses like this coming off a layoff, I think they're actually pretty fit.
Yeah, they can really get fit.
Yeah, you see Brad Cox, he can work them pretty quick in the mornings. They're going 101, 102 there, 49s, because the track is deep. It's not because he's trying to work them slower. It's because that's just how fast they're going.
That's like if we went to run in sand.
Right, exactly.
One of those types
so
of things.
it's I wouldn't say easy, but you can definitely get horses fit over that training center there.
Race number 9 is our finale. We will close things out with Arkansas bred 3-year-olds and up, 1 mile and a 16th for maiden claiming 20,000 and full field of 12 as we just have a scratch of the also eligible, the number 13.
Yeah, South Fork's out, and maybe a blessing in disguise for him because he would be breaking from an outside position in this 2-turn race. I am picking a runner that has route pedigree, Irish Guard, out of the awesome, again, mare Sequoia, I don't know how you say that, but the dam was a turf router. 3 siblings were winless, so she hasn't produced much, but I'm just looking for a little bit of a price here. I've been giving out a lot of chalk, and I'm like, you know what? We need to spice things up here. And this runner does have route pedigree and has speed figures and sprints to contend with the best speed figures in here. So why not? Irish Guard, Amir Mendoza, you get a 5-pound weight break here. I'm going to take a shot.
Well, I'm going to root for the Jinx Fires runner. That's the number 6, Captain Amazing. Does get Christian Torres with the leg up here this afternoon. I love that this horse's numbers are trending the right way. They're all going that way towards the winner's circle in every start that he's made today, being start number 5. Now, the 4-year-old does exit major improvement last out when stretching out to today's distance, facing maiden 40 state-bred runners. Set off the pace, was kind of wide around the turn, but did run 3rd, beaten by the horse that was setting the pace. Now, he does get class relief today, and I love the fact that Jinx is looking for his 48th consecutive year with at least 1 win at Oaklawn Park. That's quite a record.
That is pretty unbelievable, and I'm sure he'd remember most of them, too.
He probably does. Horsemen have that innate ability to retain that kind of information. Like, I don't know if they remember their wives or their husbands' birthdays, but they can still remember the fractions a horse went in probably 10, 15 years ago. So, yeah, we do want to congratulate Jinx also last week as we did host the National HBPA that he was honored with the Living Legend recognition. So it was a very beautiful day, and almost all of Rivervale, Arkansas, who were his family members, were here to support him. So very well received. In addition to our 9 race selections, we also have a $20 show bet bonus parlay, our long shot, and our top pick, sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Matt's going to start in race number 1 with What's Crackin', then go to 5 with Showers, Bolt at Midnight, and Beauty Reigns in the featured 8th race. I'm going to start with race number 4 with One True Chance, Showers as well, also Bolt at Midnight, and also Beauty Reigns. We feel confident in our show bet today. Long shot play of the day for Matt is in the nightcap, Irish Guard, while I'm going to go to Highlight Show earlier in race number 3. Top pick, sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Matt goes to Showers in the 5th, and I'm going to go to Beauty Reigns, the mock contender, in race 8 and feature event. So just a reminder tonight, if you don't have plans after racing, we invite you to go and attend the Chaplaincy Banquet Bash. It is one of the key fundraisers for the Oaklawn Chapel. They do so many amazing things, not just helping out our racing community, but also the community of Hot Springs, Arkansas. So make sure that if you can, get down there, buy you a ticket. It's a great time. Live auction, silent auction, food, music, and it supports an amazing cause that is very near and dear to all of our hearts as we want to support Rich and Robbie Heffington of the Oaklawn Chapel. So Matt's going to go.
Yes.
You bought a really cool custom hat a few years ago.
Yeah,
that thing is sharp.
Yeah, and I'm assuming there's going to be another one of those being given, or not given away, but auctioned off
Potentially.
tonight. It's for a great cause.
Yes.
Very important. All money goes to the backstretch, the employees on the backstretch. So we are very much excited to be
Just part of it.
part of it. Yeah.
And they are also auctioning off a puppy.
Yes, they are.
So cute. I can't
From
wait
the
to see
Chris
the puppy.
Hartman barn, I believe, from what I
can't wait
heard.
to see
So
that puppy.
last year, that puppy went. The puppy
Yeah.
we auctioned off last year went for a good amount of
It's a
coins.
little, it's a little floofernutter.
And they're
It's
all
so
the
cute.
puppies we give out at this event. They're all
Very
very
well
happy,
bred.
spunky.
Yes.
You know, they love people. The ones we give out. So.
And it's so funny because as soon as you walk in the door, it's just like the puppy gets handled off to all these different people and just sits there and sleeps. Just pass me off. I'll just fall asleep. That's okay.
Do you want a new puppy, Nancy?
Oh God, I have 2 at home.
You have 2
I can
already,
barely
okay.
handle those. Yeah, they're like the spawn of Satan sometimes, or I call them the children of the corn half the times when they're not doing what I want them to do. But
For sure.
I still love them because they're mine. We do have a great 9 race card. Racing will continue all weekend long with that 12:30 first post, and don't forget. Almost said it. Dawn at Oaklawn with Ron Moquette this Saturday. So for Matt Dinnerman, you'll see him upstairs also giving some analysis between race calls. You'll see me and Andy Biancone in the paddock. So enjoy your Thursday. Good luck and good racing.